Colorado Avalanche Hockey on Altitude is brought to you by Shortline Subaru. Save money, drive better. And by Jeep. And the unique brand of freedom you'll only find in the full line of Jeep vehicles. Visit Jeep.com. Always a nice night when the original six team is visiting Denver. Tonight, the Toronto Maple Leafs are in town at Pepsi Center to face the Colorado Avalanche on Hockey Fights Cancer Night. Let's take a look at the Ford starting lineup, and a couple of goaltenders who did not face each other the first time these teams played back in October.
And Mike, very interesting matchup tonight. You've got Jonathan Bernier, who has played very well of late. 1 goal against in his last couple of games and capable of going on long runs. Former first-round pick of the Los Angeles Kings. Mike, he was the backup to Jonathan Quick, and the Kings, they wanted to give him an opportunity to get out and be that #1 guy, and he is a very good goaltender. At the other end, Mike, look how big and tall Rachel Bear, halfway up his back. That's the net, and he really is. I stood behind him a couple of practices, and he covers a lot of ground, and he's learning how to take more and more area away as far as covering his angles and just protecting that net.
Well, yeah, you just have to stand in front of the net.
Yeah.
Thinking about all you can. All right, here we go. The puck is dropped, and we are underway. Tyler Bozak, the former Pioneer Legion player, against Nathan MacKinnon. MacKinnon after the puck in the corner, rolling up the boards. Centering pass is intercepted by Holden Picardo. Up ice for MacKinnon. He has checked along the wall by Franzen, and the puck rolls behind the net. Centered out in front. Here's a chance. Save made by Bernier on MacKinnon. Comes around. Shot. Score! 31 seconds into the game, and Nick Holden with his first goal of the season.
And this, Mike, is a Nick Holden goal. Nick Holden, who just broke onto the scene last year. He had 10 goals in the regular season, 3 more in the playoffs, and he showed us he can jump down into the play. Great action. You see the 3 forwards down low. Bernier gets pulled all the way across, but look at Holden. Standing right there, comes in, stick on the ice, and just powers it home, Mike. And for the 3rd game in a row, inside of 2 minutes and 10 seconds, the Avalanche have the first goal of the game here at home.
Just that quickly as folks are settling into their seats at Pepsi Center. Avalanche getting a quick goal from Holden. Hit by Jan Hayden. There's an injured Toronto Maple Leaf player. Well, he is face down, not moving at all.
Mike,
that is Daniel Winnick, the former Avalanche player. I believe that is him. Is it number 26? Yeah. I think that is Daniel Winnick. Peter, he didn't move at all.
And he hasn't moved yet, Mike. And now what you're seeing right now is the beauty of the National Hockey League's medical situation. The doctors are already heading onto the ice. They've gone over this 1,000 times. They never want to see it, but they are prepared for it. And we just hope that
we saw the medical staff, Peter.
Yep.
Trainers from both teams came out. We see Scott Woodward, Matt Sokolowski. I see Dr. Andrew Parker. He's in the orange checkered shirt, and he is out as one of the doctors for the Colorado Avalanche.
Now, what Mike, unfortunately, watch the head of Winnick. It's just steps up, he goes over. That's not going to be the angle that's going to show it, because right here, this will be the angle. Watch what happens to his head, Mike. He just crunches on it, and it's tough to look at. And I guarantee you, right now already, the stretcher's coming out, the ambulance is backing up, and every single precaution is going into this. It's every player's nightmare what has happened here, but it is incredible, Mike. And not to get too carried away, but the training staffs from both clubs and the doctors will go over this to make sure that they were there as quickly as possible.
Well, they were out there in a hurry. They did a great job. And now, Peter, it is just, you can hear a pin drop now in the Pepsi Center. Quiet, as you can imagine that it would be. And Daniel Winnick, former Avalanche player, hit by Jan Hayden in the way that he flipped down onto his head. And
they were both slowing down. I mean, it wasn't like one of those big time crushes. Winnick sort of stopped, and Hayden, played into him, and he just flipped over and just came down.
And so certainly that change, an early goal for the Avalanche. Crowd electrified and now just utterly quiet throughout the Pepsi Center. You can see watching look at the faces for both teams, their players, and is it Bernier, the goaltender for Toronto, over talking with one of the referees, and the crowd, nobody's saying anything, just watching to see as doctors, medical staff from both teams attending to Daniel Winnik. And they are taking a lot of time and being very careful and making sure that they're doing the right thing, and you would expect that they would, getting him onto the stretcher and then taking him off the ice. Well, Peter, you and I have seen a number of times where players have been taken off the ice, but I don't recall the quietness, the what's happening here at the Pepsi Center before. Now we've certainly seen injuries, and we've seen severe injuries, and we've seen situations where the stretchers have had to come out into the ice. But they're boy, we just praying right now, hoping for the best for Daniel Winnik.
Players on the ice might sense things, and you saw the immediacy of the players calling for medical help. There was no, let's go see how he is, or let's go after Jan Hayda. No, it went instantly to Daniel Winnik, Mike, who was such a great member of this Avalanche club. Apparently, we can't see it from here, but apparently there's a camera angle that said he is talking. So, what that means, I don't know, but the one thing I've been told, Mike, in this business, don't pretend you're a doctor.
No, let's not. We don't know.
We don't know a thing. We're just up here, just like every other fan, just hoping and praying for Daniel Winnik right now, and we will certainly.
As soon as we get any information, we will pass that along for any fan that's certainly concerned and worried and wondering about Daniel Winnik, as they are being as cautious as you would imagine that they should be, and making sure that proper things are being done for Daniel Winnik as he is being strapped onto the stretcher and will soon be taken off the ice. Game will resume, and if we get any information at all, we will certainly pass it along to you.
And Mike, you can see where hockey players became people. It's Maple Leaf, Avalanche, Maple Leaf, Avalanche, Maple Leaf, Avalanche, Maple Leaf, Avalanche, all the way along the boards watching this. This takes you right away from the game.
So there you can see Daniel Winnik. There's head coach Randy Carlyle, the Toronto Maple Leafs. And they are not even lifting this off. They're just going to scoot it along the ice and take him away from the ice surface.
Yeah, it's made to do this, Mike. This is
that much less jarring and everything else to get him off. And you can see in there is a gurney waiting as you go through the door for Daniel Winnik to be
and one of the things, Mike, is you don't want to be picking up when you're standing on the ice.
If there's any chance of slipping or anything like that, which would make perfect medical sense. Well, as Daniel Winnik, will just continue to think about him, pray for Daniel Winnik as he is taken off the ice, but there's still lots of hockey to be played. And an early goal from Nick Holden, scored at the 31-second mark from Nathan MacKinnon and Gabe Landeskog. And the Avalanche had the lead, and it was very quiet here in the Pepsi Center, and we haven't played yet a full minute of our first period, but we're going to have the puck dropped, and we got some hockey to play. The puck comes back into the Colorado zone. Nate Gennett banks it out to center ice, and racing back for Peter Holland will pick up the puck for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and a pass goes all the way down the ice. No connection there for Toronto, and the Maple Leafs are called for icing early in our first period, with the Avalanche up 1-0.
And certainly, Michael, I was fortunate enough to play this game for a long time, been around it a long time, but as a player, you really have to gather yourself, because things like this happen so quickly, and you don't want to have your mind wander, but it's tough to focus back in and just bring it right back to, okay, I got to take this guy to the play, I got to do that. It is hard.
Shot by Barry going wide. Bernier gloves the puck. And silly question for you, Peter. Does it change at all if you're a physical player in hitting anybody? Is what you saw on the ice as a human being? You think, oh boy, that could be me, or I could be injuring somebody.
The temperature does cool off a bit. You know, you knew the Avalanche wanted to come out hard in this game. They were going to forecheck. It does do that.
Another save by Bernier. By the way, Holden's goal, fastest goal this season to start a game for the Avalanche at 31 seconds. The fastest before the last game against Vancouver when John Mitchell scored a minute and 15 seconds into the game. So a couple of quick starts. The Avalanche hope the end result is better than the game they had 2 nights ago against Vancouver when they started so strong, up 2-0, and then had a lead going to the third period, only to see that disappear and ultimately lose the game against the Canucks. But an early goal means good things tonight for the Avalanche. They're up 1-0. Nick Holden's first of the season. The puck comes into the Colorado zone. Toronto turns it around the boards, cut off by Cleese, sends it up the wall, and it slips out towards center ice. Here's your Jeep scoring summary to show you officially that Nick Holden's goal of 31 seconds has given the Avs the lead. Nathan MacKinnon, he did a lot of good work on that goal. Gets an assist. Gabe Landeskog with his second assist of the game as well. Excuse me, of the season, as he picked up an assist, and the Avs are up by a score of 1-0. Landeskog now with 6 points this season. MacKinnon with 10 points. He becomes the first Avalanche player this season to get to double figures in terms of points. MacKinnon with 4 goals and 6 assists to lead the Avalanche. Backhanded around, tipped up the far side, bounce back for Bozak. Kessel up ice, one-on-one with Holden. He cuts across, coming wide, he shoots. That gets blocked, bouncing puck in the slot. Backhander save by Barrett, and then it zips through the crease. Shot! Oh man, Barrett was looking to his right, and that was blocked in front of the net by Nathan MacKinnon.
And Barrett did not know where it was, and it was going to be a goal much like Holden's if it got through, because a wide open net, but it hit off, I believe, the skate boot of Nathan MacKinnon.
Duchesne spins, turns, backhander, save made by Bernier. Well, close chance for Toronto, and then Matt Duchesne comes down the ice and gets a scoring chance.
Well, again, watch 29 right in the middle of your screen. Puck comes back and just hits off the skate. He actually had that in the air and bounces down. But at the other end, what a move by Duchesne.
Ryan O'Reilly has the puck for the Avalanche, moves it on the end boards. It gets cut off by Stuart Percy. And we saw Stuart Percy early in the season against the Avalanche, and he looked very impressive as a defenseman for the Maple Leafs.
But for Matt Duchesne, we talked about the fact that he knows this game's going back home to Ontario. What a move right there for Duchesne. Duchesne, Mike, 3 goals, 6 assists, 9 points. At this number of games last year, he had 10 goals. And I was talking to people in Toronto. They were like, has he been playing, that much less effectively? And I said, you know what? He hasn't. He just hasn't had the kind of goal-scoring luck that he had last year. I mean, he was red hot early in that season last year, but his overall play, I think, has been as consistent as any forward.
From behind the net, Redmond moves the puck around the boards. Redmond back in the lineup. Zach Redmond for the Avalanche. And Brad Stewart with a leg injury. Redmond's shot gets slowed up in front of the net. So Stewart is out. That's an injury scratch for Colorado. Tanguay in the slot, tapped back by Mitchell. This line of Tanguay, Everberg, and Mitchell has been so good since they've been put together. Clarkson, drop pass. Crosby with the puck, back to the point. Shot tips, and it goes wide. Mitchell takes it off the end boards, sends it up the wing, and the puck comes out towards center ice. Avalanche will change up their forward line. Leafs doing the same. Blocked by Talbot. Back into the Toronto zone. Backhand cross by Holland. Set up the ice into the Avalanche blue line. Tip back, where it's taken by Jake Gardner. Gardner moves the puck around to the near side. Stefan Romanov, the former Dallas Star defenseman. The puck up the ice. Avalanche get it back. Get it. Sends the puck across. Rink wide for McLeod. Ships the puck deep into the Toronto zone. Played 4.5 minutes in the first period. Avalanche get a very early goal from Nick Holden. After some nice work from Nathan MacKinnon to set it up. They're up 1-0 and out shooting the Leafs 5-1. These are two teams that can certainly get some shots going. Blocked in front of the net. Carried up ice by defenseman Tyson Barrie. Gains the Leafs line. Dropped it. Shot by Iginla. Saved by Bernier. Tipped out in front. And play back to the point. Shot by Aiden. And a kick save and a beauty by Bernier. That was a tough one to handle because the way it was bouncing towards him.
It just sort of came through a pack of players. Bernier had to be sharp.
Turned up the boards. Landeskog's pass got tipped into the middle circle. And the neutral zone. MacKinnon coming wide with the puck. Skates the corner. Phaneuf able to shoulder him off the puck. Comes around the wall. Kessel. A little lob pass up ice for Bozak. Into the cross. And Riemsdyk with the puck. Drop back. Shot towards the net. Save made by Berra. Phaneuf pinching in as his shot blocked and a tip down to center. Then a penalty. Called as MacKinnon. He was starting to fly and got tripped. And the Avalanche will get a power play early in the first period.
I'm just watching MacKinnon skate off the ice, Mike. That's one of those plays where you beat a guy and he kind of sticks the leg out. It's just a reflex. That was more the stick, actually. It was not the knee. Maybe that's what helped the situation. Oh, they hit the toe of it. That's why MacKinnon was so upset. Like he had a step and he was gone.
They have to score on the power play. Lucky winner will get Avalanche tickets to an upcoming game courtesy of American Lifestyle Furniture. Go to AFWOnline.com/altitude. Power play for Colorado. O'Reilly keeps the puck in the zone. Bouncing puck cleared out though by Percy of Toronto. The Avalanche power play this season. They've got 8 power play goals. They went 0 for 3 against Toronto in the first meeting. It was a 3-2 overtime win on October 14th in Toronto for the Leafs. Maple Leafs penalty killing. Well, on the road, they are in the top 5 in both power play and penalty killing. Number 3 in penalty killing on the road. Their special teams have been very good.
That's one of the reasons. On the road, they're 3-1-1. At home, that's what's hurting them right now. They're 3-4.
Halfway through the penalty, called on Van Riemsdyk. Tripping penalty at 5:39, putting the Avalanche on the power play. Eric Johnson gives the puck to Tanguay. Here's side pass. Shot by MacKinnon. Stick save made by Bernier. And a puck grab and a quick snap pass up the middle. It's corralled by Holland. Finds a seam. Dumps the puck into the Colorado end. 2 shots so far in the power play for the Avalanche. Walk through center ice. Landeskog sends it across the rink. Moving in, shot by Iginla, and that knocked down Gardner. He's hurting. He can't get up to his skates. Chance for the Avs. Shot gets tipped wide. Gardner still has not gotten up to his skates. Finally, on one skate, back to the point. Iginla down low. Shot blocked. Back in the slot for Iginla. He turns, he shoots, and it banged off the post. Gardner still hasn't gotten off the ice. Shot pass saved by Bernier. Back behind the slot. Iginla winds and fires. Save. Rebound. Knocked away by Franz, and he saved a goal. The puck is cleared down the ice. That allowed Gardner to get off.
But Gardner did a good job on Landeskog to keep him away from that puck also.
Icing called on the Leafs. Hands all over Toronto. And they continue to lead 1-0.
Well, Jake Gardner, Mike, this is just a helpless feeling. It hit him on the inside of the left knee. And Mike, it just electric shock goes through your leg, and you can't move. You have to just wait it out. You see, just in behind, Landeskog goes to go after it, and then just able to push the puck away. But this is one of those ones, like, there's nothing you can do. You cannot put any weight on it, and you just have to sort of wait it out. He'll walk it off, and hopefully, most likely be back for the next shift.
And Riemsdyk shoots the puck around the wall. Chopped at and banged out to center ice by Colorado's Cody McLeod. Pass tipped by Talbot. Center shot and kicked out by Bernier. The Avalanche now with 12 shots already in this game. Clarkson Backhand the puck into the corner. What a start for Colorado. Got an early goal, already at 12 shots. 11:25 still to play in the first period. Polak comes back for the puck for Toronto, the big defenseman. Formerly with the St. Louis Blues. Pass comes across for Dion Phaneuf up the middle, tipped towards the corner by Tyler Bozak. Pinned in the corner, scooped up by Clarkson. Scoots around, played back to the point. Shot, comes wide. Shot, nice save by Barrett, and he covers the loose puck. And we've got a whistle, and we'll have a face-off in the Toronto zone. And we'll return in Denver. The Avalanche lead the Leafs 1-0.
Welcome back to the Pepsi Center. Now, do you like this jersey? Well, you can buy this jersey. The players, the Avalanche players, skated with these jerseys and wore them before the game in their warm-ups. They autographed them all, and you can bid on these jerseys. Just go to auction.nhl.com. Each player autographed his jersey. You have time to do it. You can bid until November 20th. All the jerseys, though, were signed. They're really cool, really comfortable, a really special way to honor Hockey Fights Cancer Night, you guys.
All right, thanks, Julie. Well, he's going to have to outbid Peter McNabb. He's planning on getting one.
They're really cool looking. I was down there in the dressing room before the game, trying to snag them before the trainers got me.
Get the free auction happening.
Yeah, I think Joe wanted to talk to you.
1-0 lead in favor of the Avalanche. Early goal from Nick Holden at the 31-second mark.
Well, the last game that the Toronto Maple Leafs played, they played in Arizona, trying to get past Phoenix in Arizona. They fell behind 3-0 in that game before a couple power play goals made that one close, and they don't want that same thing to happen here tonight.
As when the face-off, control the puck. James, and the shot goes wide into the corner, rolled back behind the net to the near side. The puck freed up, tipped in front, grabbed and skidded out to center ice. Redmond leading the way, pass back down the slot, shot up high on that chance for the Avs. Dennis Everberg. It's all over Franzen. Moves the puck behind the net, center out in front. Mitchell just overskated it. Mitchell, drafted by Toronto, played 3 years with the Leafs. Hayden, the puck in the corner. Holden got the goal and has given the Avs a 1-0 lead. Gives to Hayden. Bison is tipped towards the net. Bernier, who has been busy, made 11 saves already in this period. Up the wing, chased down by Matt Duchene. After winning a lot of one-on-one battles, using their speed to get to loose pucks. Bouncing puck kept in by Hayden. Slides it across for Johnson. Shoots it wide, open for a redirect. It's back towards Hayden. Stays with it. Nice play by Hayden towards the near side. McGinn gets rocked by Romanov. And the puck turned back around. Bernier will stop the puck behind the Toronto net. Handoff. Polak back into off the shelf. And carried to center by Van Riemsdyk. Dumped in. And we've got to stop and play. We'll return with about 9 minutes left in the first period. The Avalanche up 1-0. Let's see who is in the groove. Presented by Groove Subaru.
A little mixing and matching right now for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but this line, Kessel, Bozak, Van Riemsdyk had 15 goals in the season. Like the rest of the Maple Leaf forwards have combined for 13 goals. So it's or 17 goals when you add everyone up. But it's a situation where that they're trying to balance things out from and moving people around in this line. Like we just saw Jake Gardiner come onto the ice, take a couple twirls around, and go off. So
I saw him go down the tunnel back to the locker.
He went back down the tunnel, so you know he's hurt.
Pass down low, and before Johnson could get the backhander off, he was slashed. And so another power play coming up for Colorado. Well, it looked like a real great chance there for Johnson to make it 2-0, but got slashed as he was attempting the backhand.
Well, so far we've seen a goal by a defenseman jumping up into the play. Now we see a penalty drawn by another defenseman jumping up into the play, this time Johnson. And Dion Phaneuf, who Leads the league now, Mike, in minors this season.
He's into the penalty box. Toronto short-handed, but with the puck. Hard shot, and it dribbled off of Berra. Reto Berra with his first start since October 21st against the Florida Panthers. McKinnon bursting in, throw to the corner. Power play chance number 2 for the Avalanche. Penalty on Phaneuf for slashing at 11:03 is put the Avs on the power play.
And Mike, this is the area, the power play, where Patrick Waugh last game, at the end of the game, was saying they had 2 opportunities in the second period when the score was 2-0, and they didn't come up with a big goal. And if there's been an area this year for the Avalanche where they've let themselves down, there's been big moments inside of games where a goal would have changed everything. So many games for the Avalanche have been right there.
Kept in nicely by the Avalanche right at the blue line. Tanguay feeds it to McKinnon. Threads a pass for Johnson. Finds Tanguay. Comes across for McKinnon. He shoots. Missed. And it rattles around the wall. Johnson protecting the puck well. Pass towards Iginla. Into the corner for Johnson. Side of the net. Landeskog backing up towards the corner. Handoff goes to McKinnon. Centering. Iginla, top of the near circle. Then it back side of the net for McKinnon. Wheels it around the board, but nobody was at the point. And is chopped down the ice by the Leafs. As Sam Carrick shoots it ahead into the Colorado zone. 40 seconds left in Phaneuf's slashing penalty. No shot yet on net for the Avalanche in this power play opportunity. A steal by the Leafs. Shot in towards Berra. He has to steer the puck to the near side wall. Duchesne's pass at center. Off of McGinn, and Robidoux fires it across. Nice play by O'Reilly to stop the momentum of that dump in. Duchesne back with the puck. Shoots it in, and it deflects towards Bernier, who covers for a face-off. Let's look at tonight's winning combo. This is brought to you by Black Jack Pizza.
Well, a couple things tonight. Stop Phil Kessel. He's red hot right now. He has points in the last 4 games. 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points. And protect Berra. I mean, when you haven't played in a while, Mike, you want to get into the game. And the Avalanche, to this point in the first period, have done a terrific job.
Just 6 shots for Toronto.
And no real, flurries.
Face-off controlled by the Leafs. Fired around the glass, but kept in by Holden. Put it behind the net for McGinn. Shovels it across for O'Reilly to take. Bouncer into the circle and scooped out to center ice as the penalty on Phaneuf is over. And the Avalanche 0 for 2 on the power play. They had just 1 shot on that 2-minute power play opportunity. Duchesne is flying and he shoots the save. Rebound. Here's a chance. Fumbled and the puck comes away. O'Reilly had the puck bounce on him on that rebound chance. Back the other way come the Avalanche. Duchesne setting in, spins, centers in front, broken up. And carry the other way. Kessel moving through center, cross ice, Robidoux. Boom, the shot, safe. Rebound turned away by the Avs. Shot by Bozak, blocked in front by Hayda. And the puck pushed away by Hayda, up by Tanguay with Duchesne and Everberg. Pass goes to Everberg. Dropped it for Johnson. Pass across. Duchesne shoots. Save made. And back the other way come the Leafs. 1-on-1. Kessel moving in on Hayda. He cuts around, but Hayda bumped him enough that the puck came free. Side of the net, Hayda smacks it around. Cranston pitching in. Has it for the Leafs. Centered in front. Phaneuf shoots, but he broke his stick on the shot. Into the corner. Mitchell for the Avalanche. Bounces out to center ice. Puck taken by Franzen. Shoots it winding around the boards of the Avalanche zone. Bounces free. Avalanche have got it. Talbot playing his 600th NHL game tonight. Comes back to the point. Shot off of Redmond, the Avs defenseman. Sends it around the boards. And it is still inside the Avalanche blue line. Holden takes it. Sends it out to center ice for Mitchell. Pushes to the hand into the Toronto zone. Pass in the slot, knocked down. Holden fires a BB high in the net. Tanguay gets hit. Bounces off the check, gives the puck to Mitchell. Scooped it across into the circle. Percy. Pass gets tipped. And it bounces in to the Colorado zone.
Just a terrific pace and and Maple Leafs are, Mike, they're getting their skating legs right now.
Avalanche have the puck. Talbot through the cross, knocked down, carried out to center ice. 2-on-1, pass, shot, goes wide. Back in front, back to the point. Polak wide, shoots, save made by Berra. Well, the action is picked up here in this first period. Both teams getting some opportunities, but the Avs continue to lead. Stevenson Automotive brings you Did You Know? Here's our question of the night. Which Detroit Red Wings player was the first to raise the Stanley Cup over his head? Was it C1, Ted Lindsay, C2, Mr. Hockey, Gordie Howe, or C3, Alex Del Vecchio? Text your answer, and perhaps you'll win some Avalanche tickets. We will have the correct answer for you in the third period. Your father was around then when it happened, wasn't he?
He was on the ice that night, and it's just kind of an interesting story about how it all worked out.
All right, we'll get into it in the third period. Leafs win the draw, bouncing puck to the point, slid across for Polak, shoots it wide of the net. Leafs again with possession in the Avs zone. Tomorrow to the point, Polak shot tipped on net, backhand there, waved into the corner. Picked up by the Avs. Pass behind the net by Cleach. Barry takes it for the Avalanche, marching out to center. 15-7 shot advantage for the Avalanche, but the Leafs have had a couple of flurries the last couple of shifts. A fight, and the pass by Breton ends up in the Avalanche zone. McKinnon receives the pass from Johnson. He's been really skating well in this game, but gets poke checked as he came to the line. Carried the other way by Panik. Dropped it for Kessel. Pass in front, looking for a one-timer. Brunson shot got through. Score! How does he do it? Phil Kessel.
I think he picks this one out midair.
He is just simply amazing to watch.
Mike, we've seen the Avalanche have had more than their share of these kind of players. Mike, that the puck just follows. There's no reason why this puck would come across to Kessel. It just comes across, and he bats it home.
And the referee there, very decisive that stick was not too high when he batted at it. It was below the crossbar. And he'll stand up. And he's a goal scorer. That now 5 games in a row with a point. And Phil Kessel with 7 goals this season.
And 7, he's had 7 goals now. This is the 8th game. This one's not over. And Mike, you and I talked about it last year. You and I like to find that player that plays the best game in the Pepsi Center of any opposing player. And he walked away with it last year.
Question, turnover, save made by Barron. Bouncing puck near side, Van Riemsdyk shoots, comes across towards Kessel. Gets a little pressure on him, gave up the puck. Avalanche flying to center. Duchesne sprints in. Get through the defense. Pass comes off the linesman. Kessel has the puck for Toronto. Cross ice for Van Riemsdyk. Bats it around behind the net for Bozak. Tyler Bozak comes out of the corner with the puck to the point for Phaneuf. Around. He's free for Bozak in the corner. In there in the corner by Holden. And the puck up the boards. It got by Brenson out in the center. And Riemsdyk. Handoff goes to Phaneuf. To Kessel. And goes off the skate back into Toronto zone. This game tied up at 1. 35 to go in the period. No icing. Coming back for it, Nick Holden. He scored the first goal of the game. Everberg slips out to center ice, pushes the puck ahead. Avalanche come into the Toronto zone. Shot! And it is caught against the chest by Bernier.
Now let's take you back to that goal again by Kessel. And he walks in, and he just again, the puck just comes to him. I guess it comes to him in a hockey situation. It's just in midair, and he finds it and bats it home. Just a great display. People are talking hand-eye coordination. Some players just got it. They're just not going to stop him from scoring goals.
And that made it 1-1. That's where we're at with 2:15 to go in the period. Komarov circles behind the net, back to the point with the pass. Into the corner. Leafs in the Avs zone. Starting out of the corner. Santorelli to the point. Shot blocked. Shot by Robidoux. That's stopped by Bear. Loose puck in front. Picked up by the Avs. At the center ice for Tanguay. Sends Mitchell over the line. Tanguay back to Mitchell. Fanned on it. And Robidas comes back the other direction. 3-on-3. Robidas chips the puck into the corner. Hayden looks behind him. Venturella was gaining on him. And Johnson slips out to center ice. Pass across for McKinnon. Coming in on the off wing. Pulls up. Cuts across. His pass into the circle. Down low for Johnson. Save made by Bernier. And we continue to see the Avs defensemen getting involved in this first period.
Oh, this period is not lacked for excitement.
Nope. Been plenty of hockey plays for sure. McKinnon's chance, and that is stopped by Bernier.
Well, the shots are now, I believe, are up to 18-11 for the Colorado Avalanche. And Mike, we expected this. You look at shots on goal allowed per game. The Avalanche, 35.5 goals a game, which is one of the reasons why there's been a little adjustment defensively. Toronto allows a lot of shots on goal. So both of these goaltenders know that they are going to be busy. But Mike, shots on goal lead to excitement. There's just no getting around it. You got two clubs like this that are going up and down the ice. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, this, right now, 18 shots, as you point out, Peter. That's the most the Avs have had in a period this season. Race for the puck. Kadri gets to it. He cuts across. Backhander goes wide of the net. Back to the point. Pollock's chance, and that was a bullet that missed. O'Reilly to center in the final minute of the period. Kadri just moments ago had a really nice opportunity. Cutting across, Kessel at center ice. Will chip the puck ahead, does so, and lands in the Avalanche zone. 35 seconds left in the period. Coming out to center ice, Redmond. Kessel with the puck at mid-ice. Shoots it in. Grabbed by Bozak. Redmond on him. Bozak gonna hold him off. Pass back to the point, slid across. Cross ice, shot, saved by Bear. Rebound chance. Clarkson could not get his stick on it. Mitchell had him tied up. Everberg sends it over the line for Tanguay. Cutting across. Tanguay still with the puck. Tanguay cutting around behind the net. Still with it. He gets knocked off the puck. Johnson shoots as the buzzer sounds. And we've come to the end of the period. A lot of excitement, a lot of chances, a couple of goals. A sad moment regarding one of the players for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Daniel Winnick, we're hoping to get some information about. But in terms of hockey, Peter, there was a lot of excitement there.
And there was some great skating. That neutral zone, all players did was skate through it. There was no mucking and miring through that neutral zone. There was just good, fast hockey.
Resulted in a couple of goals, one for each team. Nick Holden for the Avalanche and Phil Kessel for the Toronto Maple Leafs. 1-1 after one. You're watching at Altitude. Stay tuned for the Toyota Intermission Report. Thank you for watching the Toyota Intermission Report, presented by the Toyota SUV family and your neighborhood Toyota stores. Avalanche struck fast and furious and scored a goal within the first minute, but then the Leafs, with a goal from Phil Kessel, have tied the game at 1. And Peter, we saw an action-packed first period. I loved your observation. It was like there was no obstruction in the neutral zone.
Yeah, you know, you get a little score sheet at the end of each period, and when you're looking at the chances for both of these hockey clubs, Mike, there were 60 shots directed towards the net by both of these clubs. The Avalanche had 35 that were either on net, blocked, or missed the net. For the Toronto Maple Leafs, they had 25. Like, I've never seen a game that had, if you just run through 3 periods and it stays the same, it's had 180 shots directed towards the net. So both teams were flying. But for the Avalanche, one guy, Mike, that was just on his horse all period long, Nathan McKinnon. I mean, he was backing them up, defenseman for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and Mike, and it's getting better. You can see for Nathan McKinnon. But here's a little stat. At the same time last year, coming into this game, he had 9 points. He's got 9. Now he's got 10 points. So it looked like a slow start, but he's turned that around, and he's starting to really push everything. The pace has been spectacular.
And there's your Lexus on the ice at first period of play. Nathan McKinnon certainly leading the charge for the Avalanche. And now leading them in points with 10. And we're underway in the second period of play. Behind the net, the puck worked free. Behind the Leafs, banged off the glass. Good play at the point by Nate Ginnon to keep it alive. Side of the net, shoveled out in front, scooped away by the Leafs. Santorelli. And trying to clear again. Ginnon, nice job at the line, but they have ruled it to be an offside play on the Colorado Avalanche.
You know, you're just watching, Mike, in that period. You know, and some of the things the Avalanche wanted to do. They wanted the pace to be quicker, and it was. And Jarome Iginla, Mike, how about him? 4 shots on goal. He had 2 more shots blocked, and he missed the net with 2 more. 8-shot attempts for Iginla in that first period.
And a total of 18 shots as the team found the net. Redmond pushing his way in. Shouldered off the puck by Polak. Staying with it, Redmond. Good battle along the boards. The puck in front of the net, scooped away. Still loose in the Toronto zone. Pass up the middle and tipped by Van Riemsdyk down the ice. Played off the boards. Picked up by Van Riemsdyk. Circles behind the net with the puck. Pass along the end boards for Clarkson to tip. Pass back towards the point. Angled away from Polak. Down the ice and into the Toronto zone. Pagay on the forecheck. Pass comes to Polak. Couldn't get it by McKinnon. Makes the pass and a sliding block. And a good one by Percy. Puck turned around the wall. Played back to Johnson. Shot tipped off of Percy into the corner. Pass up the middle and it'll flutter towards the net. Then goes wide. And Toronto called for icing.
Just talking with Erik Johnson yesterday, and Mike, you could just feel how almost angry the Avalanche are that they've got themselves in this situation. The number one thing that's the talk of the locker room is the leads that they have given up in games so far this season, points that they have sort of squandered to this point.
Well, Erik Johnson, though, has played very well, leading the team in plus-minus, in ice time, in assists, as tonight's game began. So Erik Johnson really has been one of the bright spots for this Avalanche team in the early going of the season.
Probably their best player to this point.
Another icing call on Toronto. We're early, just 2 minutes in to the second period with the game tied at 1.
Well, Max Talbot, who, of course, now in his 85th game at the Colorado Avalanche, started his career at the Pittsburgh Penguins, where he won a Stanley Cup before signing with Philadelphia. Then last Halloween, joined the Colorado Avalanche, Mike, and all season long, people were saying, you know, what does he bring to the club? And as the season went along, people saw what he brought. And now this year, he's a big part of that penalty killing unit. Is #1 in the league for the Avalanche.
Kadri, the puck to center. All the way down the ice, and another icing. That's 3 times in a row that Toronto's been called for icing.
And Max Talbot, this is Movember. Grow a beard, grow a mustache. He could grow a full beard in a game. From the morning skate, if he shaved, till the end of the game, he goes right past the 5 o'clock shadow, right to it 3 days from now shadow. I mean, it is unbelievable. Remember Ben Hite?
I think he holds the record.
He holds a record. In one period, we showed a picture of the start of the period, the end of the period, you could see he had a shadow.
With a chance for Talbot. He gets after the puck behind the net into the corner. Pass to McLeod. One-handed by Robidas, didn't get it by Cleese. Bats it behind the net. Handoff, wraparound try by Talbot is smothered by Jonathan Bernier, the Toronto goaltender.
Good work from this line. If there has been a most consistent line for the Avalanche, and because of injuries, they really haven't had to tinker much with this 4th line for the Avalanche, McLeod, Cleese, and Talbot. You know, as far as forwards go, coming into tonight's game, the only plus forward was McLeod. And the line night after night, good defensively, good hard work, great penalty killing. They're a big part of that penalty kill. All 3 of them.
Well, the Avs have not had to kill a penalty in this game. They've done a nice job of staying out of the box. They've had 2 power plays tonight, 0 for 2 for Colorado, but they've done a nice job staying away from the penalty box. To center ice comes Duchesne. 3-on-2 Avalanche. Duchesne to Johnson. Broken up. Johnson will get to it in the corner. Trying to charge the front of the net. Pass from out of the zone. McGinn just a few inches outside the blue line. And the play is offside.
But Mike, why is that a good play? I mean, he got unlucky there because Jamie McGinn read that Johnson was jumped up into the play. So as Johnson was down low, if he crashes down low, then that could have turned into a 2-on-1. No, instead he made a good defensive decision and just got a little unlucky batting the puck back into the zone.
McKinnon, Landeskog, Iginla. Out for Colorado. Been a good line in this game for the Avalanche. McKinnon's really been skating well. McKinnon after the puck in the corner. Works his way around. Pass. Picked off. And skated out to center ice by the Leafs. Turned over and Avalanche put that pressure on. And the puck comes back through. McKinnon was tripped up. The crowd saw it. A lot of referees hoping for a penalty there, but the call was not made. Dumped into the corner. Behind the Avalanche net. Holden and Landeskog. Pushed around, held in by Phaneuf. Backhand to the cross. From the point, shot. It's stopped by Redmond, the Avalanche defenseman. Kicked in at the point by Polak. And does it again. Gets it towards the corner. Connick centered in front. And there'll be a penalty on the Avs. Zach Redmond. Redmond for his hit on the Kadri in front of the net as that pass came from across the low slot. And for the first time in this game, the Toronto Maple Leafs will get a power play chance.
Well, the Toronto Maple Leafs player's stick was broken. Let's see if it's a slash.
Colorado 22 minor penalty, slashing.
Yeah, he slashed down on the stick, broke the stick, and did all the Toronto Maple Leafs players to get the shot. Again, like the Avalanche did one thing there. They had the puck. They didn't get it out. They caused their own problems. And too many times this year, that is something that Patrick Roy has seen.
For the Avalanche, penalty kill 29 in a row. Branson shot comes wide of the net. Power play for Toronto. They've been good on the road this season. 5th best in the National Hockey League. Kessel with the puck. He's already got a goal in this game. Power play, number 1 of the night for Toronto. Give to Kessel. Coming down the slot. Centered in front. Bangs it around. Back towards the near side wall. Barra without a goaltender stick. His stick is behind the net. To the goalie for the Avalanche without a stick. Side of the net, centered shot, score! And Reto Berra, without a stick, not able to stop that chance, and that breaks a string of 29 consecutive penalty kills as the Toronto Maple Leafs have taken the lead 2-1 on a power play goal.
Like, I'm not sure that this had any factor in it other than for Reto Berra. The stick is gone. He couldn't go over and get it, but this is just a beautiful passing play down low, bang, bang. I'm not sure the Berra's stick would have been there to poke it.
The only thing I would say, Peter, it is funny how it's like a limb missing almost. You feel funny without it.
You're worried about the 5-hole, and then maybe it's just that thing in your mind for a goaltender. Well, the last three goals that Toronto scored on this road trip have all been power play goals.
So that makes it 2-1 in favor of Toronto. And you saw our scoring summary. A power play goal for the Leafs, Tyler Bozak. And for Bozak, his 5th of the season for them. And he leads the team for them on the power play. Van Riemsdyk and Franson with the assist at .443. Played back to the point. Rolled around the wall behind the net to Shane. Pushed off the puck. Backhanded out to center ice, and it's a race. McGinn at the angle. Pushed to the cross. Carried in by McGinn. Long shot gets blocked. Turned in the corner. Holland backhands it up the boards. It bounced into the center ice area. Offered Redmond. Played it back for his defensive partner, Barry. He finds Redmond. Nice pass ahead. Tanguay moves in. Deeks and... What a move! What a shot! Alex Tanguay! As pretty a play as you'll ever see. Tanguay with his 5th of the year has tied it back up at 2.
Alex Tanguay has played so well for the Avalanche this season. He's been up and down the list, but what a pass by Redmond. Redmond was, Mike, you know how sweet this feels for Redmond. He's in the box for a power play goal against the Avalanche. He comes out and he gets the opportunity. Just a great stretch pass to Tanguay right along the blue line. Bang, that's as nice as it gets. And Tanguay, Mike, is just so smooth, it pops it up and over. And that is a big, big goal for this Avalanche to get this back to even.
2-2 after that terrific looking play for the Avalanche. Alex Tanguay from Zach Redmond and Tyson Barrie at 5:43 to tie the game up at 2. For Barrie, his 8th assist of the season. And for Zach Redmond, that's his 2nd assist as an Avalanche. Got down the ice, icing waved off. Barrie drop it behind the net. 20 shots for Colorado, 14 for the Leafs. Game tied at 2. Pass down the ice, angles wide to Bernier, and the whistle blown to signal that the Avalanche are called for icing.
Let's go back and have another look at this goal for the Colorado Avalanche. And you could almost feel, Mike, that the penalty killing streak ended. The Avalanche, after the first period, you know, now they're down 2-1. Where they're up, they got that early first goal again. They needed something. They got it quick from Alex Tanguay.
Carried up the wall by Redmond. Puck squeezed out to center. Phaneuf with pressure from MacKinnon. Eludes him. Gets the pass back. MacKinnon again applying that forecheck pressure. Pass by Kadri, broken up in the Avalanche transition to offense. MacKinnon swinging in, dropped it. Again, let's shot. Stick save made by Bernier. Puck behind the net. Bouncing free. Scooped out to center. Pass up the middle for MacKinnon. Gets around Van Riemsdyk, cutting in. Fans on a shot. Gets it back, pass across, but through Iginla and wide. Hayden keeps it alive. Put it along the boards. Up the near side. Chip Johnson wouldn't hold it in momentarily. Take it away. McGinn fires, and a glove save made by Bernier. After a power play goal by the Leafs, Alex Tanguay on a breakaway goal has tied it at 2.
We are back at the Pepsi Center. Of course, it is Hockey Fights Cancer Night. Right now, we're with Marty Richardson, who's the founder of Dog Nation. Tell me about Dog Nation.
Dog Nation started back in 2011. It was after a really tough year in 2010. We had 3 guys on our team all battle various cancers, and we lost a dear teammate named Jack Kelly. During that time period, we just started by passing a hat around, helping those families out, and we decided after Jack's passing to do something really special. So what we do is we run several events during the year, and what we generate money, and that goes to families in need, hockey families in need. Believe it or not, in just over 3 years, we've generated over $550,000, and more importantly, we've been able to help 30 hockey families locally and across the Rocky Mountain region.
How meaningful is a night like this to get the awareness, to get people thinking about these things?
Oh, this is a big night for us. We've got a table out front, and we've got a lot of people stop by and share their emails with us and such, and just tell our stories. We've got a lot of survivors here, people that we've helped, other recipients, and they're able to tell their story to just the general hockey public, and it really helps us.
Thanks, Marty. That was Marty Richardson from Dog Nation, guys.
All right, thanks very much. We appreciate it, Julie. Peter and I know Marty very well. Have participated in some of his organizations and dealings, and boy, I'll tell you what a job that he does and his organization. They are phenomenal. Behind the net with the puck, McLeod on top of it. It's a 2-2 hockey game with just about 11 minutes left in the second period. 1-1 after 1. And then a power play goal was scored by Toronto. And that was the first power play goal given up by the Avs in 30 shorthanded situations. They had killed 29 in a row. And Peter, our Track statistician Pat worked this up. How about this? That was 459 minutes, 43 seconds of action, 7 hours, 39 minutes, and 43 seconds of penalty kill time. Thanks, Pat.
And there were so many big moments with that solid penalty killing. Really kept the Avalanche in some games.
Luxury has an address. Cooney Lexus invites you to see the full line of Lexus all-weather drive sedans and luxury utility vehicles for 2014. They're available at Cooney Lexus of Greenwood Village and Colorado Springs. A few moments ago, Peter, on the big screen here, the Pepsi Vision showed Orlando Franklin, Ryan Katie, a couple of Denver Bronco players here. Man, they take up those seats.
Wow. I mean, I've guys. Mike, I've been over to training camp every year. I go over for a few days during training. They're just monsters.
Hey, fun to see him here watching and enjoying the hockey game. Raider week, right? Back to the point. Shot by Johnson. Blocked. Kessel shoots the puck back into the corner. Carried out to center ice. Steal made. Alex Tanguay, his big goal. Tied it up at 2. Played back to the point. Hayden, the broken stick on the ice. Johnson, center out in front, blocked. Hayden moves in, waits, makes the pass. Mitchell winds and shoots, had it blocked. And a pass up bites, and now it's a race, and Kessel with his blazing speed is in all alone. He shoots, big save by Barrett. Loose puck, covered. Phil Kessel, the last guy you want to see coming in on you on a breakaway, and Reto Berra with a huge save for the Avalanche. Oh, he was moving, and Berra comes up big.
Well, tied at 2 here in Colorado, and Phil Kessel, just another example, Mike, of just how fast he is. The puck is just chipped out of the zone, and he's just gone. And Mike, his stick went over the puck just to that one instance. But the play that the Toronto Maple Leafs were upset with was Mitchell played the puck in the crease, but he batted it to Barrett. But you can see just how fast also Kessel is.
Hey, people don't understand just how quick he is.
That was John Mitchell, and we've seen Mitchell a couple times this year just blow by people.
Puck lobbed down by the Avs, and it is a icing call on Colorado.
Mike, we have some absolutely wonderful news. Daniel Winnick, who was injured on this play, sort of an innocent-looking play earlier, but this part wasn't innocent as he went down, hit his head. He's walking around. He never did go to the hospital, apparently. He has been able to talk to the doctors. They've checked him out. He is alert, aware. Everything is moving the way that it should, and everybody is just so thankful that that's the situation.
Clarkson makes the pass to Phaneuf. Kicked off the skate back in to the Toronto zone. Smashed up the boards. And tipped into the Avs zone. Hammered back the other way by Colorado. No icing on the play. Franzen will take it behind the net. Leads it for Phaneuf. Gets there just in time ahead of McKinnon. Barov, long pass for the defenseman. Franzen shoots. Stick save by Barrett. Puck comes around the wall. And out to center ice. Handled by Robidas. Pass through the middle. Tip into the Colorado end. Where it is handled by Eric Johnson.
Mike Pace slowed down a lot in this second period.
Puck dribbles out to center. Kessel spins away. Handoff goes to Godfrey. Cuts across. And Hayda took him off the puck. What a nice play there by Jan Hayda. That allows the Avs to get their offense going. Into the corner comes Duchesne, trying to center, broken up by Toronto. Pushed into the corner.
One thing for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Gardner, who was hurt in the first period, did not return. Played 3 shifts in the first, none here in the second. So they're down to 5 defensemen here tonight.
And short of forward with Daniel Winnick out as well. Garrity in over the line. Pontiff throws to the boards. Pass across. Kessel was open, but O'Reilly read it well. Intercepts. And lobs the puck to the corner. Trucks after the defenseman, Zach Redmond, was all over that one. Up off the boards. And the Leafs come out to center ice. Percy dumps the puck into the Colorado end. 7:35 left in the period. Barry flips the puck for Cleach. Sent to the center ice. Got a hand by McLeod into the Toronto zone. Chopped at by Percy. And Cleach in a hurry on Carrick. Puck freed up. Barry waiting at the half boards. Pushed it back into the pile in the corner. Carrick got it back for Toronto. Backhands the puck out to center ice. Avalanche Talbot gonna push the puck ahead. Slammed in and it turned over. Tanguay steals. Backhand and save. Made by Bernier. Oh, that was an interesting play.
I'll tell you exactly what Tanguay was trying to do here, Mike. He was trying to get him to open up 5-hole and slide it through because he was in an awkward position. It was all he could do. Wait right there and try to throw back through. And Bernier stayed with it real well. Because the one thing about Tanguay, Mike, we've talked about it ever since he was an Avalanche. As a matter of fact, the last time the Avalanche beat Toronto here in Colorado, Tangs is the only player still remaining. Although he did go to a few places in between, but Mike, he's got imagination and he sees things. Some guys just shovel it at the net. He saw what he tried to create something on that play.
Leafs come to center after the faceoff. Dumped into the corner. Kamara after the puck. Venarelli comes free, shoots, saved by Berra, and he covers the rebound. Berra's helmet's come off a few times during this game, and it happened again.
This is great right here because now what it is basically for Tanguay and Bernier, it's 1-1. Bernier says if you smile, saying, "Okay, I got you the first time, you got me that time." That's great, isn't it?
It really is. It really is funny. Because you and I have known Tanguay a long time. He gets that little smirk on his face.
And the thing is, Mike, he gets a little smirk on his face when he knows he's going. He's going tonight. Yep. I mean, and he's played a lot of good games this year for the Avalanche.
Sure has. He's been terrific.
But the skating of late has really been good.
Backhanded around. Everberg. Nice pass. Got through for John Mitchell. Full check as he got to the line. Holland. Pass in front of his own net for Dion Phaneuf to take.
You can't touch the puck.
What happened there, Peter?
Mitchell didn't touch the puck. Phaneuf tried to give it to him to get the offside, and he didn't touch it.
Pass out to center. Went back for it. Eric Johnson. 6 minutes to go in the second period. Center ice, McKinley for McKinnon. A race after to the corner. Comes out of the corner with possession. Handoff goes to Johnson, side of the net for Landeskog. Squeezed by Phaneuf, but McKinnon takes it for Colorado. Going to come out of the corner. Lost his edge, and the puck carried to center ice by the Leafs. Polak over the line. Van Riemsdyk coming wide. Pass in front. Comes wide. Bozak after the puck. Slapped at it. Cut off by Johnson. Polak turns and shoots and had it deflected away. Back to center. Handled by Landeskog. He's into the Toronto zone. McKinnon winds, fakes the shot, back to the point for Hayna. Into the slot, shot, and a save by Bernier with Iginla right in front of him. More second period play coming up on Altitude. It's 2-2 in the second. These lucky fans upgraded from the Ram Trucks fan zone to lower bowl seats courtesy of Ram Trucks. Purchase tickets in section 362 for your chance to win an upgrade to the official truck of your Colorado Avalanche. Face off in the Toronto zone. Our game tied up at 2 in the second with 5:18 to go in this period. Holden and Tanguay have scored for Colorado. Kessel and Bozak have scored for Toronto.
That top line for Toronto getting both of the goals in tonight's game.
Ranson with the puck for the Leafs. Dropped that by O'Reilly, but bounces. Kamara skating through center. Lost the puck. Avs get it back to their own zone. A hit. Kamara and pinned away from the puck by Ginnon. Pass out to center ice for McGinn. Santorelli had his stick knocked out of his hands. Trying to hold the puck against the boards, but nice play by Duchesne. Shot saved by Bernier. Rebound. Backhander goes high. Duchesne behind the net. Chopped away from him. Franton moves around the glass and out. And it's curling towards Berra. Tyson Barrie holds on to the puck. 8-3 shot advantage in this period for Colorado. Weiss the puck, and we got a whistle with 4:23 to go in the second period.
Tonight, every game takes on a different complexion. This one, you knew right off the bat, that hit on Daniel Winnik, the place went quiet. And there wasn't many hits for a while, but the competition and I'm sure the information that the teams got that Winnik was okay has helped to make this a real solid physical game. Maybe not as physical as a couple games ago in Anaheim when they had 41 hits alone, the Avalanche.
Puck tipped to center ice. Polak. Let's stay with Tanguay, but the play is offside.
Coming into tonight, you see these clubs ranked 4th and 6th in the National Hockey League as far as hits. And you know, it was one of those games that, Mike, against Anaheim, that I was down between the benches. And you know, we talked about the fact that the Avalanche had played the night before and Anaheim was waiting, and they only had 7 shots the last 2 periods. But the effort was there. It was just one of those things, they just couldn't get that big goal. It was only a 3-2 game. They led in that game. Another one of those ones that was frustrating for the Avs.
Johnson, nifty move to get in, but it's poke checked away, and Kessel moving quickly. Look at his speed. He's passed across, and a brilliant save by Barron. Robbing Panik after Kessel set him up in front of the net. Pass comes out of the zone. Barron's best save, along with that breakaway by Kessel. Weiss Kessel.
Highlight saves.
Yep, absolutely. At center with the puck, Tanguay through the middle. Pass for Everberg. On to Mitchell. Pass behind the net for Everberg. Pushed away. Handoff right to Mitchell from Phaneuf. Mitchell works his way to the blue line. Sends a backhand pass across towards the corner. Behind the net. Around the boards. Kadri against McLeod. McLeod wins that one-on-one. Pass behind the net for Everberg. Phaneuf pitches him off the puck. And it's underneath the Toronto player, I believe, that's on the ice. It is.
Well, Kessel came into tonight's game with 6 assists in his previous 4 games. And you can see, not only does he have that great speed, the great ability to score goals, 37 last year, 5th in the league, but Mike, he can move the puck. And last year, we mentioned it, he was voted best player in the Olympics, and that's no small feat. Best forward, pardon me, in the Olympics. He had 5 goals, 3 assists, 8 points.
And this is a guy, Peter, who, how many years ago at the All-Star game when the captains could pick their players in order, was last pick. Well, things have changed. He now, Peter, you look at since 2008, 199 goals. No U.S.-born player has more than Kessel. And Reef's shot. Rebound shot. And it is right there. And still alive. Where is it? Where is the puck? Well, as they unpile, we'll see where that puck is. That's not in the net. That's the good news for Reto Bear and the Avalanche.
You know, we talk about the technical nature of goaltending, and then there's this type of play where you're just scrambling around. You're doing everything you can. You're trying to figure out, guys are yelling at you. You don't know where it is. Look at the humanity that was in the net for the Avalanche. There's 3 guys and no goaltender. 3 guys and no goaltender in the crease.
Are they going to review this?
I'm not sure that I saw it at any time come. See, Barrett thought he had it right there.
It's underneath that pile, isn't it? See, you can see the puck. You can see it clearly.
Well, they're heading back to the war room.
This is not going to be a goal.
Now, I did not see the referee wave one way or the other on the play. I didn't see him go goal, no goal. But there's
Bear did a nice job with that left pad, didn't he? He didn't give up on it.
What's going on behind me here? Wait, I gotta jump in here. There's Landeskog.
You see, there you can see the puck.
You see the puck, yeah. The referee's right in there getting a good look.
After further review, the puck never crossed the goal line, therefore, there's no goal on the play.
As we thought, no goal. Remains tied at 2 with 2:44 to go.
But if you're the Colorado Avalanche, Mike, what you have seen in the last while is a breakaway by Kessel and 2 2-on-1s. And, you know, if Kessel is going to continue to be such a big part of the offensive nature of this game, they got to stop that.
Well, Peter, we've been seeing Bozak with Van Riemsdyk and Clarkson
yeah.
playing as a line combination. Shot by Van Riemsdyk, and the save made by Barrow.
Well, what they're trying to do is balance out the scoring, because it's very difficult in this league nowadays to take one line and have it dominate offensively, because there are so many good defensive players in the league. Randy Carlyle, of course, who coached 2007 Anaheim Ducks, one of the toughest teams that's been around this game in a while. They could play some hard hockey, that 2007 Anaheim team.
Well, this marks really the third game in a row. If Kessel was on this Bozak line, that you'd see that threesome, that full line combination staying together. Well, that for the game against the Ducks. Backhander, nice save by Barrett again. Bozak on that backhand try. And it kicks free for Bozak. Centers in the slot. Van Riemsdyk with a chance. Bouncing in between the circles. And again, Bozak won that one-on-one battle. Cuts in front. And it's blocked. Bozak again. What a shift he is having. In the corner with the puck. Bozak centers into the slot. And it's bounced back to the point. Kept in. Polak rams it around the boards. Once again, Bozak with the puck. Put it behind the net for Van Riemsdyk. To the point. Franzen shot wide of the net. Clarkson behind. Moves it to the near side. Polak, the defenseman, is pinched in. As is the half board. Turns and fires wide of the net. Franzen will pinch in for the puck. Turn it behind the net for Bozak to take. This puck spending some time in the Colorado zone. Tyler Bozak having a whale of a shift. Side of the net. Clarkson threw it across the crease. And it comes through. Tipped in by the Leafs. Clarkson pinned against the backboards. Duchesne reaching for the puck. So it's Holland for Toronto. Holland has the puck. The Leafs have kept the puck in the zone and also made a line change, Peter.
Yeah, full line change.
Enough. Rims it around behind the net. Other than Clarkson, everybody else has changed. Komarov circles out of the corner with the puck. Pass behind the net. Back to the points. Robidas to Phaneuf. Back to Robidas. Fakes. Pass down low into the corner for Holland. Cuts back up top of the circle. Cross ice. Phaneuf snuck in. Centered in front. That's blocked by a sliding Redmond. And then iced by the Avalanche. That group will not be able to go off the ice. And we'll see if Coach Waugh decides to call timeout here.
Yeah, let's watch and see for Patrick. Now, Patrick likes to keep his timeouts for strategy. But in this situation,
the referee skated over by me. Yeah, here's the timeout.
Yep,
He's going to have to use it here.
Timeout. Avalanche.
yeah, just to refresh everybody's memories on these things, because sometimes we assume everybody's watched all of the rule changes in the National Hockey League. A few years ago, they just decided, back when they had the lockout, and they wanted to change some rules. When you ice the puck, the 5 players for that, or 4 players, however many players are on the ice at even strength, have to stay on the ice. It's one of the rules that I would maybe like to see to be changed, Mike. That you can't use a timeout on an icing. It has to be kept for strategy situations, because the whole intent was to keep the play moving. But for coaches, they're going to, use whatever they can in whatever situation. But that was a impressive, almost minute and a half, I think, for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
And that same group for the Avalanche have to stay out there after the icing. Duchesne will take the draw against Holland. So the Leafs keep that same group that was out there on the icing. Duchesne against Holland for the faceoff. And after the draw, the puck dribbles the side of the net. Redmond tipped it up and did get it out of the zone. Franzen's got the puck. Back it up, little forecheck pressure put on him as they're able to make some changes. Pass comes across the ring, tipped into the near side wall in the Av zone. Played up the boards by Johnson. Back down into the Colorado end. So that timeout situation for Patrick Waugh worked out. used his timeout, and then the Avalanche were able to then get the puck out, get their line change made that they wanted to make. And we're now last 15 seconds of the period. Phaneuf makes the pass. Tomorrow sends it down the ice into the Avalanche zone, cut off by Eric Johnson. And it's shot back wide of Bernier. Icing is the call. There'll be time for one more face-off, perhaps, in the Colorado zone. Well, why should you hug an angler? Because proceeds from fishing and hunting licenses go towards conserving Colorado's natural beauty. So give a hug, say thanks, and go to huganangler.com to learn more.
Well, they do have the big shot. Bozak, the right-handed draw.
And Phaneuf has got the big shot.
Exactly. We've seen Dion Phaneuf his days in Calgary. When he first came in, wow, was he an impressive defenseman. Still is.
Bozak will try to pull this back on the backhander, try to beat Mitchell on the faceoff, get it to Phaneuf, who's right behind him. False start. They lead Mitchell and Bozak in for the draw. It's down, and Franzen shots. Oh, that was on target. Barrett had to make a save right at the end of the period.
Absolutely. And Franzen, he's got a really good shot. Remember his days with Nashville. He must have picked up something from Weber because he can fire it.
Our score at the end of 2. It's 2-2. So deuces wild in Denver. Power play goal from Tyler Bozak at 4:43. And then just a minute later, Alex Tanguay on a breakaway tied it up. Stay tuned for highlights and more on the Subaru Intermission Report. Colorado Avalanche Hockey on Altitude is brought to you by Groove Subaru. On Broadway or online at grooveauto.com. Pepsi, proud to support the Colorado Avalanche. Pepsi, live for now. And by the Ford Explorer. It's time you did your exploring. Ford Explorer, go further. Teams exchanged goals during the second period. And it's even as we head to the third with the Leafs and the Avs tied up at 2. It's very difficult to be that backup goaltender. You don't get a regular consistency of starting games. For Reto Berra, watching 7 in a row as the backup goaltender. You're inserted in against the Maple Leafs, but he's been playing well tonight.
Yeah, and it's interesting for Reto Berra. Now, when he was back in Switzerland, he was the #1 goaltender all the time. So this is only his second year in North America, so he's just learning this role. And he has done a terrific job in this game because the Maple Leafs haven't had as many chances as the Avalanche. But I'll tell you, the right guys had the puck on a couple of situations. This was his best save. You have to read Kessel, and that is hard to do. And here he was just scrambling around. There's going to end up being 4 Avalanche players in the crease, not including the goaltender. But for Reto Berra now, Mike, he is a goaltender of a huge period for the Avalanche. The Avalanche, as we talked about, go on the road after this game. They're going to Philadelphia. Philadelphia won tonight, so they'll be feeling good about themselves.
Colorado scores in the third. You score with Subway. Go to your local Subway restaurant tomorrow for any regular 6-inch sub for just $3 after 3. Puck is dropped. We're underway. Third period. And Pepsi Center in Denver. Bozak. The pass up ice. Comes to David Clarkson. Shoots the puck in. Slapped around the wall. Back to the point. Franzen shoots across for Phaneuf. He shoots to the side of the net. Scooped up by Redmond. His pass sends Duchesne through the neutral zone. Poke check back to the Avalanche end. Handled by O'Reilly. Pass out to center. Santorelli tied up by Duchesne. Works the puck free for Holland. Cutting across. Waits, passing in, shot missed the net. There was a golden opportunity. Back to the point, one-timer blocked. And it's hooked up ice. And Polak's got to come out to play it. Put it behind the net. Percy threw it into the near side corner. Polak banks the puck to center ice. Santorelli trying to get away from Landeskog, who had lost his stick. Grabbed by McKinnon. Curls to the boards. Barry fires and it blocked. It's back towards Barry at the blue line. Throw it to the side of the net for Iginla. Keeps it alive. Pass behind for Landeskog. Skates towards the near side wall with the puck. Reverse it back. Waiting. McKinnon in the far corner. Poke checked away from him by Panik of Toronto. And the puck is launched out to center ice. Settled down by Gavin. Sent across for Barry. Mealy's back into the Toronto zone. Whipped around. Kadri. Chip pass out to center. Komarov. Cross ice pass, but nobody there for Toronto. They were making a line change. About 2 minutes into the third period. Tied up at 2. Cross ice. Everberg banks the puck in. Cut off between the circles by Phaneuf. Flipped it off the glass. And back towards Phaneuf. Up ice to center. Tipped by Komarov into the Colorado end. Hayden snaps the puck around. Kept in at the point by Robidas. Shoots it around. Kadri after the puck. Squeezed away from him. Sent ahead to center ice for Everberg. On for Mitchell. Coming wide. Into the corner. Mitchell. Pass back to the point for Hayden. Slides it across for Johnson. Slaps it into the corner. Centering pass in front. There's a chance. Diving stack pad save made by Bernier. And he dives on the puck. What a save. That was an old school stack pad save by Bernier, robbing the Avs.
Mike, you watch this line for the Avalanche. You know, you obviously have the talent on the top 2 lines, but offensively, this line with Mitchell, with Everberg, and Tanguay. Now, they have goals in each of the last 3 games now. And it's been won by each one of them. Tanguay tonight, Mitchell last game, Everberg the game before. And they have been so effective as far as pinning the other team in the zone. Different skill levels for each guy, but the line works.
Sure does. That was a great scoring chance. Tanguay just missed. Long pass to center for Clarkson. Onside, got a man down the slot, but it deflected off of Hayden. Bozak was coming down the middle. Bozak ends up with the puck. Slipping behind the net. Comes out in front. He shoots, and the save made by Barra. Tyler Bozak is having himself a strong game tonight.
Yeah, he really has. Of course, he's just a tremendously intelligent young man. We all know that. Denver University.
Well, he had to leave early.
What?
Like he did all he could do.
He did all he could do. He graduated
just
in 2
like
years.
you, right?
Just like I did. You know, I finished my schooling in 3 years. Or they asked me
and
to
then
leave.
was asked to leave.
Quickly.
Son, you've done all of the damage you can do here.
There's only so much you can do.
Want to continue at the top school. McKinnon breaks into the corner. Checked against the board. Turns, pass. In front for Iginla. Turned away. Percy takes the puck for Toronto. Well, this game is not lacking for scoring chances for both teams. 2-2 game. 27 shot for the Avs, 21 for Toronto. Pass ends up coming deep in the Toronto end. Leafs coming back to the puck. Robidas with Iginla on him. Venturelli. Pass to center. Intercepted. Shot by McLeod of Colorado in. Bernier stops the puck behind the net. Rolls it up the far side for Panik. Handoff to Holland. Back towards Panik. Pass near side. Robidas lifts the puck to center. Does pass Barry. He'll chase it down. No icing on the play. Up the wall. Panik. Leash on him. Santorelli turns back into the corner with the puck. Cycles it for Holland. Back to the point for Polak. Slides it across. Phaneuf. Shot. Got stopped. Panik into the corner. Santorelli trying to center. And it got tipped. Talbot getting to the red line. Bounce the puck ahead. Then he gets sandwiched against the boards. Polak to center ice. Shoots it back in around the boards. It rims to the far side. Picked up. Fratton shoots. And shoots high. May have been tipped. Lifted to center ice for Everberg. Punches the puck ahead. Bernier sweeps the puck away for Phaneuf. Up ice. Kadri. Tipped into the Colorado bench. The puck has gone out of play. Still tied at 2 in the third.
Well, we're hoping nothing has happened, Mike, but Marc-Andre Cliche just double shifted, and he took Duchesne's spot on his line, and Duchesne we cannot find. Oh, there you go. Okay, good. because he did have one shift, and it was a good long shift. But you know, anytime player's not out there, you're like, there he is, just coming back.
Duchesne against Kadri for the face-off, controlled by the Maple Leafs. Flipped it in on a hop, and Nick Holden started out the scoring, came early. He joined us late, 31 seconds into the game. Holden scored a goal. Leafs tied it later. And the Leafs took the lead in the second period, then the Avs tied it. They were still tied up at 2. Long pass, well angled towards Barry. He's got a handle it, so no icing. And Redmond back for the puck. Picked up an assist in this game. To center ice for O'Reilly. Gives it back to Duchesne. And they slip around. Stick check. Played back by O'Reilly to the point. Johnson's chance. It's deflected wide. Clarkson for the Maple Leafs. Couldn't get out of the zone. Polak bounced it out to center ice for Clarkson. Shoots it ahead for Bozak. But Johnson gets in the way. It was a delay offside.
But Duchesne just got crushed by Polak in the corner.
McGinley shoots off of Bernier's arm. Back towards the point. Shot by Johnson. Blocked McGinley. Pass side of the net. Centered out in front. Tipped by the goaltender Bernier. And Riemsdyk's pass to center for Clarkson. Taken away by Erik Johnson. Pass across the neutral zone for Landeskog. Skates over the line with the puck. Coming in wide. He shoots off the side of the Toronto net. Kessel after the puck. But Holden pinched in. Kessel turns it behind the net. Polak. Pass out to center ice. Will go into the Colorado end. Landeskog's pass up ice. Received and sends it over the line. McKinnon, stick check. Breton and Phaneuf on McKinnon. Freed up by Landeskog. Comes free for Phaneuf. Pass for Kessel. He's got Kadri with him. Fires a pass that way. Kadri shoots and tipped up high off the glass. Played back to the point for Franzen. Shoots through traffic. Stopped between the circles by Holden. And Landeskog wants a line change, so he'll dump the puck in.
Mike, we have one guy who is getting the puck on net. McGinley came into this third period with 6 shots on goal. He's had at least 1, maybe 2 shots in this period after having no shots in the previous 2 games. He's starting to get it going. He's starting to get really on his game tonight.
Venturelli spins. Mitchell took away the puck. It lands on the stick of Gedden. Up ice for Barry for the Avs. And he'll angle it to the near corner. Missed by the Leafs. And the pass back towards the point intercepted Venturelli. Up for Holland. Gets over the line with the puck. Cutting across his pass. Nice play by Barry. And he chopped it off the glass to center. Polak from the red line. Hammered around the shelf. Circles the boards. Batted back behind the net. Venturelli for the Leafs. Gonna come out of the corner. Makes the pass. Gets it back. Venturelli, the half boards with the puck. Back down behind the net. Carrick coming free. Back into the corner. Makes the pass. Back to the point for Polak. Slides it across. Missed on the one-timer by Robidas. That sends Alex Tanguay to center ice with the puck. Has to wait. Pass behind him for Hayda. Tanguay hit it off the ice. Hayda waits for the rest of the line change to be made. 11:40 remaining in the third period. Pass deflects off an Avs player. Looked like it did. Perhaps it didn't. And they call icing on the Colorado Avalanche. And Erik Johnson arguing his case, but it is an icing call.
Well, Alex Tanguay, of course, missed all but 16 games last year for the Avalanche. And boy, did they miss his hockey IQ, his hockey presence, just the hands that he brings to the game. He's such a smart hockey player. And right now, he and his line mates are flying. They've had some terrific opportunities in this game.
Leafs line out for Colorado. Out with McLeod and Talbot. Knocked down at the line. But the Avs retain possession. Shot by Talbot. Deflects. Kessel takes the puck for the Leafs. Avs change up their line with Kessel's line out there. Carried in by Kessel. He shoots. Oh, back behind the net. Back to the point for Franzen. Peter, it seems like every shot Kessel takes is a dangerous shot. In the corner for Kadri.
Everybody has their team. The Avs seem to be one of them for Kessel.
Kessel has the puck. He's number 81. Pass Franzen wide. Fire 6. Whoa, there's Kessel cruising in for the rebound. Kept in by Komarov. Into the corner for Kessel. Back in the slot for Phaneuf. Rolled free. Phaneuf overskates the puck. O'Reilly's pass. Taken back by the Leafs. Cross ice for Polak. Coming in wide on Hayda. Gets to the front of the net. Pass. Deflected. Back high in the slot. Leafs have it. Kadri's pass. Bounced off of Duchesne. Pushed out to center ice. Landeskog coming into the zone. Sends the puck ahead and coming after it. Polak leaves it in the corner for Stuart Percy to take. Gets a little pressure. Sends the puck out of the zone. Kick back in offside by Holden. 2-2 in the third period with 10-11 left.
We're back at the Pepsi Center. Great game going on in the third. We are knotted at 2. And of course, it's Hockey Fights Cancer Night, and that means you can get a whole new wardrobe. I picked all the stuff up at the Team Store Altitude Authentics. Got the Hockey Fights Cancer hat, the scarf, and the jersey, which is actually very cool. A very special event here tonight at the Pepsi Center. Of course, you can always donate yourself, and you can see right there on the screen, hockeyfightscancer.com to make your own donation, or come down to the Pepsi Center and get any of this very cool gear. Proceeds go to Crocky Sports Charities, which benefits children and families right here in the Colorado area. Guys.
Thank you very much, Julie. Puck fired in around the boards by the Colorado Avalanche. Shot by McKinnon from a tough angle. Stopped by Bernier at the post. Ponick, handoff, and then the puck is clubbed down the ice. It is going deep. No icing. Gannon will retrieve the puck. We're halfway through the third period. Tied at 2. Each of the previous 2 periods saw the teams exchange goals. In the corner, Holland centers. Goes off the side of the net. McKinnon takes the puck. His pass is out to center ice. Batted back. The Avalanche blue line. Gannon sends it up ice. Picked up by Landeskog with McKinnon. Shot and stopped by Bernier. Kept in by the Avalanche. Landeskog back to the point. Slipped away. Out the center. Hayda gets possession for Colorado.
Mike, you want to see how strong Landeskog is? It was one-handed, and he got something on that.
Pass up the middle. Brought in by Tanguay. He's been absolutely outstanding tonight. Poke checked out in the center. Hayden sends it across. Johnson's pass. Nice play by Tanguay. Shot. Rising misses by Everberg. But again, Tanguay setting up a scoring chance for the Avalanche. Everberg going to walk his way out in front. Robidoux broke it up. Over to Clarkson. Off the boards. He's bouncing back towards Clarkson. Skates up ice. Into the Avalanche zone. Coming wide. He shoots. And it is caught by Berra. 2-2 in the third in Denver. Here's the answer to our Stevenson Automotive Did You Know question. We asked you back in the first period which Detroit Red Wings player was the first to raise the Stanley Cup over his head. And the answer, Ted Lindsay.
Now, he was captain of the Detroit Red Wings. They won the cup. And back then, 1950, there were no side glass, no side in. The fans would lean over the boards, Mike, and watch the play come up with nothing. There was glass behind the net, but that was all. So he thought, as just a treat to the fans, he took it over and raised it and let them sort of touch the cup, and he went all the way around the ice. But that was the first time it happened.
Now, you expect nothing less,
right,
than each player getting a chance to skate around, holding the cup over his head. Yeah. O'Reilly makes a steal. O'Reilly pass in front for Duchesne. It goes wide. Wraparound drop. Score! Matt Duchesne! And the Avalanche lead it 3-2 on Duchesne's 4th goal of the season.
Now the Ontario connection comes up big for the Colorado Avalanche. We talked about at the top of the show just how much these guys love playing when the game they know is going back to their home province of Toronto. And O'Reilly, nice little pass across, but Duchesne, because he's so quick. That is the only reason that play happens. He just sliced around that net. And Bernier, it bounced off his pad and in, and the Avalanche back on top.
And they are up 3-2 with just over 8 minutes to go in the third period. Shot in by the Avs into the Toronto zone. Polak. Turnover. Shot! by Talbot, deflected off of Bernier. Up the wing, out to center ice, Santorelli. Into Holland, scoops the puck in. Barrett. Flipped away from him for Panik. Punch back towards the point for Phaneuf. Slid across Polak, shot, deflects wide of the net, off the back of the net. Taken by Panik, bounce pass to the point, slid across for Phaneuf, back to Polak. Down in the near side circle, Holland fans initially, still with control of the puck. Works his way back to the blue line. Flipped it down to the half boards. And it is iced by the Avalanche. And there's the whistle with 7:18 to go. Avs now lead 3-2.
Let's go back to that goal. A good hustle. But Riley recognized that the Toronto player, Mike, had just sort of lost control of the puck a little bit. And he put a little extra jump in his step. Gets in front, and again, Matt Duchene picks up his 4th of the year. I mean, like, again, that ability to speak quick and then that quick turn. And just, you know, on his forehand, tuck it home.
Barry, after the faceoff, shoots it out to center ice. Here's your Subway scoring summary. $3 subs tomorrow, thanks to Matt Duchene. Here's a chance. Great save made by Reto Berra. Oh, boy. Big-time save in the third for the goaltender.
Well, Mike, he's faced Kessel and now Van Riemsdyk, by a far the best 2 forwards for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and stoned them both.
Holden did a nice job there, too. Diving back, really prevented him from making much of a move to the point for Franzen. And the pass comes back across, but out of the zone. Robidoux finds Franzen in the middle zone. Turns back into the Toronto end. Up ice. Off the board for Bozak's got Clarkson in front. Bozak shoots, the save made by Barrett. And the pass to center ice. He's all the way down. No icing. Has to get to the puck. McKinnon works his way around the end boards, reversing back behind the net. Centered. Clarkson got it back for Toronto. 6:30 left. Clarkson breaks out to center ice, stick handling through some traffic, makes the pass at the line, backhanded in by Bozak. Pass up the wing for Mitchell. Coming in, coming around, trying to center, gets it back to the point, shot tipped, but a save by Bernier. Kessel put the puck into the face of Tanguay. And he's hurt. Tanguay trying to get off the ice. The whistle has been blown, and Alex Tanguay he is bleeding as he heads to the Avalanche locker room. A goal by Matt Duchene, his 4th of the season, has given the Avs the lead in the third. Didn't take long for the Avalanche. Quickest goal to start a game this season, 31 seconds in, Nick Holden. But then Phil Kessel bats one out of midair to tie it after the first period, and we go to the second, and the Leafs on the power play. Tyler Bozak, but then breakaway chance for Tanguay. Nifty move to tie the game at 2, and we go to the third period. Matt Duchene with his quickness and that speed and the wraparound for his 4th of the season has put the Avalanche ahead by a score of 3-2 with about 6 minutes left to go in the third period. Kessel shot, but the whistle has been blown as the Leafs are offside.
We talk about Max Talbot's 600th game. For Ryan O'Reilly, that's his 200th point for the Colorado Avalanche, and it was a big one. It was a big one for the Avalanche. Mike, now it comes to that point all the Avalanche players have been talking about, closing out a game with a lead. This is, Mike, this is a huge moment for this hockey club. Just that mentality that, yes, we can close games out.
Barry back for the puck. Out towards center. Pass goes to Mitchell. Puts it into the corner. Talbot centered in front. Tipped by Mitchell. The puck went wide. And Phaneuf, big time hit on Mitchell. Puck stays inside the zone. Mitchell picks up the puck in the corner. Stick handles himself free. flips the pass across for Hayda. He shoots off of Bernier and wide. And Percy being harassed behind the net by Talbot. Protects the puck, reverses again. Talbot staying with him. Gives the puck to Phaneuf. Quick pass out to center ice. Sent over the line for Kessel. Kessel into the slot, wedged away from Hayda, and the puck sent off the glass and out by the Avalanche.
And Mike, you see what Toronto's done. They've reunited for the last part of this game, that big line.
That would be Bozak centering Kessel and Van Riemsdyk, but they have left the ice. 4:35 to go. Outlet pass for Romanov to the neutral zone. Pass up ice, tipped into the corner. Shot around the glass. Comes back towards the point. Franzen fanned on it. And he is bumped initially. Fights that off. Santorelli. Hand off Panik. Cuts into the corner with the puck. 4:15 remaining. Santorelli centers for Holland. And it popped in the air, but Barra saw it and was able to get it into his glove.
Well, Barra, Mike, because of his size, will go down early. And the good thing for Barra, and Mike, this is where you have to be so alert. If he follows the player around the net and doesn't keep his eye on the puck, Mike, that puck is going to drop down in the crease. But he kept his eye on the puck and was able to catch it and get a face-off.
Bozak against McKinnon for the face-off. Now we see that's Bozak, Clarkson, and Van Riemsdyk out for Toronto. They're going to toss McKinnon. He argues his case, but to no avail. And it's Landeskog against Bozak, and he wins that one cleanly. Bozak won that face-off, and the puck sent around the wall towards the corner. Shift around. McKinnon battling it along the boards with Polak. Puck worked free. Polak put in the corner. Turned behind the net. Off the boards. Gets in by the Leafs. Bozak pass bouncing. And it comes across. Nick Holden will skate to center ice. Sends the puck deep into the Toronto end. Bernier tied up behind the net. Look out. McKinnon's got the puck. Twisting behind the cage. Still with it is McKinnon. Pass back to the point for Johnson. Shot deflects wide of the net. Landeskog at the half board. 3:20 left to go. Leafs move to center. Bozak finds Van Riemsdyk. Bozak goes down the middle. Van Riemsdyk wide. Pass broken up beautifully by Eric Johnson. Shoots it down the ice. Landeskog will get to it. Closing on him is Polak. Oh my! What a hit in the corner. And then McGinley came over and delivered a hit on Polak. Play continues. Now that the play is stopped, they have stopped the action. Whoa. Couple of hits there. Couple of big-time hits.
As you know, Landeskog's big, but Polak, Mike, if you don't remember the story with the St. Louis Blues, now here's a man, Mike, he is 6 foot, 235, and in back-to-back consecutive years, and you know how hard these Avalanche and all NHL players work out, Mike? He was the best conditioned athlete, strongest athlete for the St. Louis Blues in back-to-back years. So you know when you go in the corner with that guy, it is gonna hurt.
Move the face-off to center ice. And worked free by Mitchell. Kessel back out for the Leafs. Puck comes around to him at the half boards. Rink-wide pass. Carried in. Dropped for Kadri. His pass in the slot. Knocked down. Slap tap by Kessel. Funny how that puck finds him. In the slot. And poke-check by Tangin. It's poke-checked away from him. Pass across for Franzen. Through the middle. Brought in. Komarov cuts in. His shot deflects off the glass. Johnson in the corner with Kessel. And Johnson shoots the puck down the ice. Going wide. That will be icing on the Avalanche with 2:18 remaining.
Well, Polak came into this game, Mike, the #1 defenseman in hits in the league, #3 overall. This is the Landeskog hit, and Mike, he just powers Landeskog. And again, it shows you how well conditioned you are to take that kind of hit. This is the one earlier on Duchesne, and there's no way around it. Those hurt.
Not a lot of give on those boards of glass.
A lot more than there used to be, though. They have addressed that pretty well.
Puck comes towards Bernier. He wants to keep the play going, so he sends a pass towards Holland. And carried in by Percy. He shoots. Directed wide by the goaltender, Barron. O'Reilly sends the puck around. Past the 2-minute mark. 1:50 remaining. Keep an eye on Bernier to see when the coach Carl pulls him. Pass in the corner for Holland. Centered out in front. Knocked down. Shot goes wide. Loose in the corner. Leafs have got it. Pass by Polak. Into the corner for Holland. Round behind the net for Panik. Out in front. Centered. And then it was tipped wide of the net. Bernier's gone to the bench for an extra skater. Polak sends it across. With the puck. Kessel. Shoots. Save. Rebound. Centered out in front. 1:15 to go. Shot. Score. By Panik. With 1:16 to go. They pull the goaltender. I think Kessel's going to get an assist on this one, but the goal scored by Richard Panik, his second goal of the season to tie the game at 3.
Well, Panik, Mike, who was formerly with the Tampa Bay Lightning, picked up on waivers right at the start of the season by the Maple Leafs. Gets his second goal, and it's a big one in this hockey game. As Toronto, it hasn't had as many shots as some of the teams have recently, but if you're the Colorado Avalanche now, you got to regroup. You got a tie game. You've got what, minute 16 of this part, of the regulation. Then if there is overtime, if there is a shootout. This is a gigantic point sitting there for somebody.
Landeskog shoots the puck in. Rolls into the corner. Avalanche going after the puck. Shot sent. There's a chance. It's loose. Poke checked away and into the neutral zone. Slapped in by Johnson. Avs get back on side. And the Leafs in the final minutes of the third period. The puck shot in by Toronto into the Avalanche end. Up the boards for McKinnon. Gets it out to center ice. That'll be icing on the Avalanche. With 40 seconds to go. So at 18:44, Richard Panik with his second goal of the season to tie the game at 3. Kessel does pick up an assist. So he's got 2 points tonight. And so does Panik. And the other assist goes to Santorelli.
Yeah, there's 10 points now for Kessel's last 5 games.
Puck rolled around the boards in the Colorado zone. Into the corner. Godfrey upended on the wall. Kessel comes away with a puck somehow. Passing the slot back to the point. Sent across for Franzen. Down low. Tipped on net. Rebound there. Oh, my. Out to center ice come the Avalanche. Landeskog pass. Coming in. Near side is again. 15 seconds to go. McGinley with the puck. Helped out by Landeskog. Then it comes free. Shipped out to center ice. We got something happening. McGinley wants to fight Robidoux. Robidoux would not drop the gloves. McGinley did. Now Landeskog going after Robidoux. Now the referees have a decision to make here. What do you do if there are any penalties called? 4.6 seconds to go in the third period.
There's the play. And that's what had Iginla upset.
Now they've opened up the door for Iginla to go in. I think Robidoux's going to go as well.
12 roughing minors.
Well, Reto Berra. The shots are now dead even, Mike. Scores even at 3. The saves, shots are even at 32. And boy, Berra has made some big saves.
So you see Stefan Robidoux and Jarome Iginla, a pair of 12s in their respective penalty boxes. roughing the call on both. At the 1955 mark. Face-off will be in the Avalanche zone.
At the start of tonight's show, we talked about Berra as a guy to watch, Mike, and Kessel, and neither one of them has disappointed in this game. .6 seconds, Mike. If you win the draw clean, is an eternity. You could do so many things. You've got Phaneuf ready. He can move it across to Kessel. He can walk in and shoot himself.
And he won it. Phaneuf shoots, and it goes high. And for the second consecutive game between these teams this season, we are headed to overtime.
Your score after regulation.
Once again, each period, the teams have exchanged goals. Duchesne put the Avs ahead, but then, with less than 2 minutes to go, a goal by Panik ties the game, and that means we've got overtime. Tonight's overtime being brought to you by Groove Subaru on Broadway or online at grooveauto.com.
Okay, Mike, here we go. What's been set up right here? Okay, with a guy in the box for each team. It sets up 3-on-3. Now, this is an Eastern Conference team versus a Western Conference team. So you're not going to be giving a West. If it was West versus West, it changes the strategy. When it's East versus West, you're not going to be giving an extra point to a Western club come playoff time. So are you going to go for it and have two forwards and a defenseman? Duchesne, O'Reilly, and Barrie? Johnson, Landeskog, and McKinnon? Or are you going to have a couple of defensemen and maybe wait until later after you get, Iginla back? Because we've seen a lot of times. I mean, Tanguay's flying tonight. You have him out in a situation. You have three forwards once Iginla comes out of the box. Because this point is,
What about with all that ice time, Peter? You've got two of the fastest players in the league, and Matt Duchesne and Nathan McKinnon. Do you say, well, you guys got all this room on the ice? Go. And just go.
And throw Barrie out in the mix. And just bombard them with speed.
Boy, we'd be a good couple of coaches here, huh, Peter?
Oh, no, we would not. It's just, you see, it
is interesting to see what the coaches decide. What kind of strategy they want. Looks like Toronto's going a little more conservative, Peter. They're going with two defensemen.
And the Avalanche
and one forward, Bozak.
Are doing what we thought they might do. It's O'Reilly and Duchesne with Barrie.
So they're going for it.
They're going for it. I mean, this means they're, and it's going to be go. I guarantee you that Duchesne is going to get it, O'Reilly's going to look for him, and Barrie's going to be rushing up to join the play.
Wow, this will be fascinating. 3-on-3 hockey here in overtime because of the penalties between Robidas and Iginla that carry over into the overtime period. There's still a minute 55 left in those penalties. Here we go. Bozak against Duchesne. Bozak scoops up the puck. Comes back behind the net. Now the Avalanche get possession.
Kessel's on the ice. They took a defenseman out in the ice, and Kessel's out there.
And when they got them, they were going after that puck. So both teams with a couple forwards and a defenseman. O'Reilly cuts in. He shoots, and that one glanced off for Bernier. A lot of room out there. 3-on-3. Barrie, handoff to Duchesne. Stops, turns, pass. Chance down low. Wrap around. Coming to the near side is Tyson Barrie. The Avalanche controlling the puck. With it, Tyson Barrie. Coming wide, up high, pass across for Duchesne. Handoff to O'Reilly. Dropped it back for Duchesne. Circles behind the net. Coming free, Avs have controlled the puck in the Toronto zone. They still have it. Duchesne in the corner, and then Phaneuf took it away. Now the Leafs get a chance to move up ice. It is Kessel coming in. Kessel cutting across. Kessel shoots. Save made by Barrie. And Kessel goes off the ice as the Avalanche move up ice. It is Johnson cutting in. It's going to be a penalty. Penalty on the Leafs. Penalty on, it's going to... Now, the thing is, though, you cannot have less than 3 players on the ice.
It becomes a 4-on-3.
Right.
And the men in the box, Robidas and Iginla, cannot join the play.
Right. So any hope that it was 3-on-2,
no,
that's not going to happen.
Take a couple penalties, 3-on-1, spice it up. Here's the penalty right here. Reaches in on the hands.
There was a conference with the referee and the linesman.
Okay, I was going to say that. Well, that couldn't have been the penalty right there. Let's have another look at it. 42's behind the net, and yeah, he was not. The referee was looking right up the alley.
So 4-on-3, power play chance with the face-off in the Toronto zone for Colorado as the Avs trying to win for the first time in overtime this season.
And Mike, it's a 4-on-3 for the full 2 minutes. Remember, the only thing that does happen is Iginla's in the box now until the 2 minutes are up, or his penalty's up, and a whistle, and then he can come across and go to the bench.
The Avalanche will have McKinnon, Duchesne, Barry, and Johnson. The 2 forwards, 2 defensemen. And a win on the draw by the Avalanche. Key face-off victory for Colorado. Cutting in, Barry, pass, Duchesne, shot, slowed up. Behind the net, gives it over.
That's a penalty, Mike.
Penalty on the Avalanche. And McKinnon and Phaneuf in front of the net have to be separated, but the Avs are getting called for a penalty. That lasted 14 seconds for the Avs on that power play chance.
Goaltender interference on McKinnon.
Colorado penalty number 29. Minor for goaltender interference.
We had hardly any penalties called until there was 5 seconds left to go in the game, and now it's a parade to the box.
And now again it shifts to a situation where we are back to 3-on-3 hockey again, Mike.
And the face-off will be in the Avalanche zone. And the Avs will go with Alex Tanguay, who's had a very good game tonight. Tyson Barrie stays out there, and Gabe Landeskog on the ice. Van Riemsdyk, Holland, and Phaneuf for Toronto. But the Avalanche win the faceoff. Barrie coming around. Barrie sprints it up the wing. Into the end zone. He's got a wide open man in front. There's a pass broken up though. Back in around behind the net. Landeskog walks out in front. Backs up towards the boards. Cutting across high in the slot. Shot. And the save by Bernier. Hands it off. Oh, and it's given right back to the Avalanche. Avalanche get it back on a turnover. Landeskog got a man in front. Barrie goes behind the net. Broken up by Phaneuf. That's the Leafs' turn to try to get some guys up the ice. They do to center. Pass over the line. Romanov shot. Save made by Barrie.
And for the Avalanche, now you're back to your normal 4-on-4 hockey. Here's just a little play. Tanguay is going to go through the scoring area and just can't quite touch it. What do you think of 3-on-3 quick, Mike? What do you think of the 3-on-3?
Oh, it's exciting. We didn't have enough of it.
Right.
I would have liked to see more. Right. I mean, it's thrilling to think about all the room on the ice.
Because
and that's what we got right now. Right. It's 3-on-3 right now. Face-off won by the Leafs. And Kessel stick handles his way out into the neutral zone. Has to come back. Bill Kessel, pounded by Duchesne, gets free, cutting in. He's got a chance in front, trying to center, broken up by the Avalanche. Bozak got it back, rolled it to the point, steal by Duchesne. 2-on-1. Duchesne stole the puck. He shoots, saved by Bernier, and he's forced to hold it.
Now, Mike, there's a little bit of a confusing play here. The two guys came out of the box to make it a 4-on-4.
Right.
The whistle blew, and they turned it into a 3-on-3. Did those guys, were they let out of the box sort of illegally, basically? Because how can you take a 4-on-4 and make it a 3-on-3 after the whistle?
Because of the other penalties?
Because of the other penalties? Man, there's stuff going on here.
But it is 3-on-3 right now.
3-on-3.
And on the draw, Leafs get to it. It's all about the possession on this 3-on-3, isn't it, Peter?
Oh.
It's all about getting that puck. Once you got it, it's tough for the other team to get it away. Oh, the Avs did a great job last time. Pass there, they do it again. Barrie stole it away. That's twice now. The Avs did not allow the Leafs to come into the zone and do anything. Pass comes across, and and into the neutral zone. Duchesne will take it. 1:50 remaining. Pass across. Couldn't touch it because of the change. They didn't want to have too many men on the ice. Komarov skates to center ice. He gets in over the line, but it is all by himself. And he's wrapped up in the corner. Again, the Avs do a good job of getting the puck, but then it goes back to Santorelli. Leafs with 4 players on the ice. It's a power play chance. Shot. Big save made by Barron. Out of the box comes McKinnon. Goes back to 4-on-4. Minute 20 left to go. Center shot. Save again by Barron. Sent around the wall. Into the corner. Santorelli. Behind the net. Komarov. Back towards the point. Held in. Down the boards. Pass side of the net. Broken up by Johnson. And the Avalanche have got it. 1 minute left to go in overtime. Pass on for McKinnon. Romanov rubs him off the puck. And Phaneuf comes up with it. Waits. 4-on-4 hockey. 50 seconds left. Kessel, most dangerous lead player, has the puck into the Avs zone. Pass across for Howard. Back to the point for Phaneuf. Send it across. Well, they're saying it stayed inside the zone. But the Avalanche get it back. 30 seconds to go. Pass up bite for Duchesne. He comes in. He cuts around. He shoots up high. Around the wall of the far side wing. Scooped in the corner for Duchesne. Back behind the net for Tanguay. Stripped away by Polak. Maybe one more rush if the Leafs hustle. Polak, 15 seconds to go. To the red line with a puck. Comes in down the slot. Goes wide. 5 seconds to go. Dropped in the corner. Bozak's got it. 3 seconds to go. One more shot. Here it is. But a broken stick. Ends the overtime period. That was one of the craziest overtime periods I've ever seen. You, Peter?
3-on-3, 4-on-4, then maybe an illegal 4-on-4. I have no clue. That was wonderful.
And that means we're going to have the Groove Subaru Shootouts. So, oh man, that was crazy.
That was fun.
It really was.
And you can see why. There's been talk of going to a 4-minute 4-on-4 and then dropping down
Which
for
they're doing in the American Hockey League.
In the American Hockey League, exactly. And then dropping down to a 3-minute 3-on-3. It would make the overtime 7 minutes, but they just feel that because they really do want to get away from so many games decided with the shootout. It's when you see something as exciting as that kind of overtime. The shootout feels okay, but sometimes we get those ones that they're waiting for it and no one's doing anything. Both clubs were just going.
They sure were. So we go to a shootout for the Avalanche for the 3rd time. This is the first time that Toronto's had a shootout this season. And for Coach Roy, he decides that his team will go first. Nathan MacKinnon. First shooter, Nathan MacKinnon, moving in on the shootout. He deeps, he shoots, he scores! The first shooter for the Avalanche puts the pressure on Toronto by scoring the goal. Nathan MacKinnon on the shootout.
Great hands, great shot. This is one of those ones where MacKinnon just beats the goaltender. Just a terrific move, froze him. Bernier drop, popped up, top shot.
Tyler Bozak, first shooter for Toronto, slows up and scores. And we're knotted up at 1. Couldn't get a goal in overtime. We got 2 in the shootout.
Just feel like, Mike, one of those ones that could go on like 10 deep.
We'll see if Matt Duchesne can score to put the Avs back ahead in the shootout. Again, put that pressure on. He comes wide to the left. Very slow and deliberate, Duchesne. Shoots and scores! And the Avs are 2 for 2 in their shooting. Couple of great shots, first by MacKinnon, then Duchesne. And James Van Riemsdyk is the second shooter for Toronto. Taking his time coming in and missed! And the Avalanche at their next shooter, who will be Alex Tanguay. If he scores, the Avs can win because Van Riemsdyk missed this one, Peter.
And now but you're looking at Tanguay. Now remember, Tanguay had a breakaway earlier. They made a move to Bernier's right, popped it over his pad.
This is for the win for the Avalanche. Their first shootout win. If he can do it, he's there. He shoots and scores. The Avalanche win a shootout. The Avalanche, Alex Tanguay, Matt Duchene, and the Avalanche have done it with the Subaru shootout, Group Auto Subaru shootout, and the Avalanche have done it. Wow. It just slipped through, and the Avalanche get their first overtime/shootout win. They pick up the 2 points tonight. What an exciting game this was.
Look, he's all benched his shot. Well, Tanguay, as we mentioned, scored one earlier, and he slipped it through the 5-hole. He didn't come across all the way and try to throw a top shelf. He slipped it through. He got Bernier to open up.
Well, the Avs were perfect in the shootout.
But Mike, you know, Patrick Waugh talked about it. The players talked about it. You got to dig your way out, and that was a dig your way out game. They had a 3-2 lead. They lose it in the last minute and 16. And there was all of the craziness of overtime, and then boom, they win it in a shootout.
Well, the Avalanche head into the locker room to celebrate. Reto Berra, the winning goaltender tonight for the Avalanche.
Mike, he goes to 2-0-1.
So the Avs win it 4-3. That's our final. The shootout victory for the Avs. First time in 6 games they win an overtime or shootout game. All right, let's listen in for the announcement of tonight's 3 stars.
The Avalanche notching his 200th career point, number 90, Ryan O'Reilly. Tonight's second star, from the Avalanche with a goal in regulation and a goal in the shootout, number 40, Alex Tanguay. And tonight's first star, with the winner in the shootout, number 9, Matt Duchene. Matt is now standing by with Julie Browman.
Matt, there are a lot of happy people here, a lot of smiles. That's the first win in overtime or shootout. That was a sweet win.
Yeah, it took too many to get the first one, but it feels good. You know, it's nice to score all 3 shots, and Rado, he's one of the best. We have 2 of the best shootout goaltenders, I think, in the NHL, so, you know, he was outstanding all game for us tonight.
We talked about playing 60 minutes. We talked about not just talking, but putting it in action on the ice, and that's exactly what you guys did tonight.
Yeah, we stuck with it. We felt we probably should have won it in regulation. They got a kind of a lucky bounce on the 3rd goal, and you know, we got production from 3 different lines tonight, and like the deep played awesome and moved the puck well. It was just a great team effort tonight.
What about that overtime? I mean, 3-on-3, 4-on-3. What was going on?
That was awesome. If they're asking me, I think they should go to 3-on-3 full time and overtime. It was a lot of fun, and I thought we were gonna, you know, win it there, and exciting hockey. So, you know, maybe the league watch that one.
Thank you, Matt Duchene.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming out.
All right, that was Matt Duchene. Back up to you.
What a night for Matt Duchene. Big goal in the 3rd period. And then he's a part of the threesome that scored in the shootout to help the Avalanche get the victory as they win it 4-3 over Toronto. Next game for the Avalanche in Philadelphia on Saturday. We'll start our coverage at 4:30 on Saturday afternoon. What a game it was tonight. The Avs win in a shootout. Now let's get to the studio for the AutoNation Toyota Locker Room Report.